You want even slower? Huh?
Gradual training.
Yeah, gradual training. Training, I'm still training, okay. Okay, can you please talk about the relationship between mind, body, and spirituality? And when one of them is out of balance, what can other two help? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Because actually, this is how mind and body and all those spiritual qualities. Actually, a mind and body, excuse me. But for example, if a physical body, so we are not well. So because then you think about how your body, isn't it? Then there's something physically also will affect mentally. So then we say, when your body not well, and then because we are related, it's difficult separate because the body and mind. So the mind make up of perceptions, feeling, perceptions, sankhara, volition, and consciousness, and the body is a physical body. The physical body make up of earth element, air element, and but because we're having this body, and then we have all our five senses. So our five senses, we do related to our body. So that's why whenever how we feel, then actually even the emotion, whatever, even we don't feel well, that actually is manifest in the body. And for example, if you're not well, and then actually naturally you don't feel happy, isn't it? Because you can feel, because it's the feelings. The feelings is like, it's not pleasant type of feelings, there's unpleasant type of feelings, and this is how it's all, related. That's why sometimes it's also, sometimes our body, for example, for the mind, and if you have those spiritual qualities, for example, some people, when they have very strong, that they've been cultivated, they have very strong spiritual qualities, and because the mind well developed, and sometimes even though the body very sick, they don't get, they're also not affected. They still be able to for them, it's only the body only sick, but the mind is not sick. But for normal people, most people, when your body is sick, definitely will affect our mind, because we are not well developed, well established. If we are well developed in our those spiritual, our mind well developed with all those spiritual qualities. So when you have those spiritual qualities, so lots of things, even your physical body, you have lots of pain, you will not so easily affected. For someone well developed in the mind, especially with those spiritual qualities, to them the body is a body, they'll not get affected. They'll be able to just observe as the body, feelings, sensation as an object, like is this pain? It's just as a pain, but we don't get involved. If, for example, we have someone, I know someone that she has strong samadhi, and for her, she be able to just observe pain without involved in the pain. She even, because she have migraine, sometimes she have her knee pain, so she be able to observe the pain as a meditation object, and she will not get drawn in. Then for her, then after a while, she was so good at it. She even can go quite deep her meditation. Like she until the nimitta state, her mind is so peaceful and calm. How many people be able to watch pain not get affected? It's very difficult, isn't it? That's why this is how. If they say you need to cultivate and develop, when your mind is developed, you're not for them they be able to separate themselves. They see as pain is not part of them. But most of us immediately, how we feel, what we experience, immediately is me and mine. the sense of self, like this is me, this is mine already. But when someone have, spiritually, mentally well developed and well established, they have all those qualities. For them, the body is just a body. The body pain doesn't bother them. But how many people can do that, isn't it? Immediately when we are unwell, and then we start to think about our body. Always, we will worry about our body. Oh, my body is pain. Oh, am I going to have cancer? Oh, am I going to die? Am I going to, all this happening, isn't it? But they said for someone have this well developed, for them, physical body sick, but the mentally they are not sick. So they said if we be able to develop that, because it needs lots of cultivation, Of course, sometimes we do, especially like beginning, we start to practice, we do need like even the Buddha said also, we do need a healthy physical body to practice, because sometimes if your body not well, it does affect our mind. Mentally, it will be affected. Unless you are well established, well developed, your mind well developed, then it's not a problem. Body is just a body. Even the body pain, mentally they're not pain. But for us, sometimes our mentally also can affect our body. Sometimes some people worry about the body, and then they're always, they think that this is how you believe, they think, I'm not well. The more you think about it, then you started to feel unwell, And this is how mentally, this is the more is a mental pain, is not the physical pain. So normally mental pain is not the physical pain. Then you have to be able to see that, and you let it go. And then yes, the pain, like I said, my first retreat, that I said my body was so pain, and then the moment I let it go, then the pain disappear, because then obviously it's not because I have any bodily illness. It's more come from my mental side. Because the more I don't like it, the more I try to push it, the more I try to push my body. That's like the pain is more come from the mental side. And that's why sometimes mentally we can affect our body, and our body also, of course, will affect mentally, and they both like affecting each other. That's why sometimes to be able to balance that, that's like of course, when we practice at the beginning, we do need relatively able body, because when you're too sick, it's quite difficult to really practice. It's very difficult to meditate. That is the reality. It's difficult. That's why for us in a monastery, we do provide, for our accommodation, we do provide, at least give people some basic comfort, physical comfort. We do need some basic physical comfort to practice, unless your body is, if some people body very strong, they can do it. That's why we do need to have a relatively healthy body, physical body. Even in one of the suttas, the Buddhas also mentioned like you striving, it's talk about you striving for enlightenment, you develop your mind. Actually, one of the factors also is a healthy body. We do need a healthy body. If you're very sick, it's really quite difficult to practice, isn't it? When you're sick, it's so difficult, because to develop those spiritual qualities, actually you do have because it does affect. Unless you're well developed, but we all have to start with where we at, isn't it? We have to start with where we at. So we are not there. It's so difficult to be able to separate. Oh, the body is a body, the mind is a mind. Of course, that's why it's important also that we look after our body. So sometimes people tend to abuse their body, they don't look after themselves. So if we have a healthy body, it's also help us, Then when we have less physical suffering, physical pain, it's easier to practice, it's easier to meditate. If compared to someone have lots of physical suffering, and provided the person a very strong samadhi, like this person I mentioned, this person has very strong samadhi because she's quite well developed in a those spiritual qualities, and then her mind is quite very stable, and then she got very strong samadhi, and then it's not so easily affected by the body. That's why, of course, that's why this is how we have to look after our body, because it's also part. We also need the body as a vehicle to practice. It's part of it. So that's like that's why sometimes that's why the Buddhists also do not encourage, like some people want to do a lot of self-modification. I'm the tough guy, I have to do all this ascetic practice. But then sometimes it's also when you affect our body, and then if we are so sick, even the Buddhists, he did that, he eat so little, then he was no energy to practice. He is so tired, no energy to practice. Then we need to have enough food to eat. We do need our body to practice, because the body is part of the body and mind, so we do need a healthy body. They say sometimes when you practice, some people say, I only meditate. Some people ended up, for example, we have people like, meditating, not eating, not sleeping, and then they ended up that they have this hallucination, and they see things, they hear voices and things like that, because they have no nutrients to the brain, and then they ended up the hallucination, and that's why sometimes they hear things, they hear sound, and they even see things, and that's why because of they don't have nutrients to the body, and also not sleeping. That sometimes the body, we do need a healthy body to practice. The body is our vehicle to practice. So that's why to balance this, that's why we also have to look after our body and also look after our mind. So to enjoy fulfilling night filled with bliss of sharing the dharma. Okay, lots of love. Talking about lots of love. And then one of my friends, she didn't understand what is LOL. So each time her daughter texts her, then she replied the text, she always put there LOL mom. Because she thought it's lots of love. Actually, it's laughing loud, isn't it? LOL means laughing loud, isn't it? But then she always said, until one day she told me, her daughter said to her, Mom, this is not how you use LOL. LOL means it's, what says, laugh, loudly, isn't it? Out, isn't it? Yeah. And then she put it. She thought it's LOL means lots of laugh. It's laugh out loudly, isn't it? Yes, last time they didn't know, because I've been, especially the first 10 years, I've completely cut off. No use of internet, nothing whatsoever. Only when I take up the job as but only I start to use these things. And now, of course, first time use, email, internet, Then people send to me, there's a FYI, Then I keep stretching what does it mean, FYI? I didn't even know what is FYI, because I'm really outdated, Then after that, I very softly asked I said, actually, what does this mean now? FYI? That was all for your information, Yeah, I don't know all this, Now I know, because last time I didn't know what is FYI. So that's why if you want to practice, also we have to look after our body, keep our body healthy, have enough nutrients, because you need both. You need to have a healthy body. We cannot just focus, I practice, I don't care. We come across people like that. They don't look after their body. They say, only if I want to develop my mind, and then they focus, and then they abuse the body. Then when your body get very sick, they can't practice. That's why we need to keep both healthy. So have a healthy body, have a healthy mind, okay? Can we have times of both present moment awareness and multitasking in our lives? No. I find just positions, hard to juggle as a working mom of these young children. Is gratitude of the small moment enough in this phase of life? Yeah, when you look after your children, take this opportunity to develop metta. That give lots of loving kindness to us as children, and this is the opportunity to practice metta. Actually, you can make use of this, opportunity, and you look after your children. You give them, metta, loving kindness, and then take this opportunity, practice metta. And then when they're not around, then you can just be. I know it's quite difficult to be present because they will, they will come around, and it's quite difficult. But then whenever you have the chance, you will do that. Then when you look after your child, so take the opportunity to develop, metta towards a practice metta towards your children. And just, and you can't have multitasking, because multitasking, that means you'll be very tired because your mind is just, because when you do this and then you try to do that, actually the mind only one thing at a time, but it seems like at once, but actually because of the mind is each mind moment is so fast, it's even faster than light. That's why it seems like you are doing it in the same time doing this, but actually it's not. It's just like when we look at the water, when the water flow, you see like the water flow like that, but actually the water is drop, drop, drop. But then they're so fast, like then it seems like continuously. The same thing with our mind. It seems like we are doing, at the same time we're doing few things, but actually our mind is just, then you'll be tired. It would drain your mental energy. So if you want to develop, you want to accumulate, more energy, and that is you try to do one thing at a time. So slow down, more mindful, one thing at a time. Because if multitasking, actually it seems that you think that you're doing many things at once, but actually it's not. Actually your mind is being, but it looks like at the same time, but it's not at the same time. Because the one mind moment is faster than light. It's very, very fast. That's why it seems like you're doing a few tasks in at the same time, but actually it's not. Okay. They said, thank you to Nalia and Christina for taking such good care of us, and to you, Ajahn, for sharing your wisdom, for your compassion. Okay, Nalia, so give her a big hand. And Christina. You see, they said people appreciate, sometimes like, the good things we have done, that sometimes you benefit people. Then also this is, like the Buddha said, always, some people ask me, is that you become big ego? Because the Buddha said, if you do something good, it's good that you reflect on it and rejoice in the goodness, in the good things you've done. And someone asked me, isn't it you will become big ego? I said, no, because you rejoice in the quality. It's not you say, oh, I'm so good. Oh, you're not come with that. Because when we said we rejoice in the quality. It's not the person that, oh, I'm so great, I'm so good. It's not, it's about the quality. When we rejoice in the quality, we will develop those qualities. It's not in terms of me and mine. Dear Ajahn, sometimes I feel I annoy my housemate and colleagues due to my, neurodiverse brain without meaning to. Do you think it is sometimes better to tell people about my conditions? Example, ADHD, autism, and OCD, etc. We don't want to be judged, but most likely we are judged anyway, as our behavior doesn't fit with what is expected. Actually, not to worry so much. most of us, even we live in the monastery, we come from a different background, different upbringing. We all, to some extent, to have our own idiosyncrasy, isn't it? So when we come from a different background, things that is normal to you is not normal to me, isn't it? Some things that is not normal to you is normal to me. So that says, no matter how, there's still, like the Buddha said, none of us can really escape being judged, So sometimes it's more difficult to try to explain to them, and it's always, we cannot avoid this unavoidable, that somehow people judge us, and then sometimes they can think what they think. Even if you don't have ADHD, autism, OCD, still people will judge you. Still people that don't like you, don't like how you dress, don't know how you look, isn't it? You cannot avoid, isn't it? Then, sometimes whatever we do, we give it all we got, 100%, do it wholeheartedly. And then we know that we have done our best, we do what we can, because we can't please everyone. It's difficult. Sometimes even you do anything also, sometimes they feel annoyed. Sometimes not necessarily it's because of you. Sometimes when the person is not in a good mood, whatever you do, they will still get upset, get angry, But as long as you come from your place, that you know that you have no intention to harm anyone, to hurt anyone, you're doing your best, and it's just like it's just unavoidable. There's still someone there, they're not happy, they don't like you. They say it's always go back to ourselves. Then we do our best, and we know where we are coming from. We know that we come from the place of, have no intention to harm anyone, and no intention to hurt anyone's feelings. But even sometimes, no matter how careful you are, sometimes the person interpret that way, even though you didn't mean it, isn't it? Like for example, I talk about someone very negative. Even someone is a compliment becomes a criticism, And no matter how hard you try, we can only do our best, No matter how no matter how hard we try, there's still someone, What can you do? They just interpret that way, That they just, if someone negative, no matter what you said, so go through their mind, filter out, it's still negative. So there's sometimes do our best, do our best to be kind, to be generous, to be helpful, to be someone, restrain ourselves. But then at the end, if there's still judges, then you just, okay, that is not my problem, their problem. That's how I used to tell. I normally, I used to sometimes give Friday night talk, live stream. Of course, I tell you, I never look at those comments. I just don't care. Whether they like it or not, too bad, isn't it? I already given the talk, you don't like it, so I can't help it. Whether you like it or not, too bad. That's what you get. The same thing, whether you guys like my talks or not, sorry, if you don't like it, too bad, this is what you get, okay?
Well said.
Isn't it? I can only do our best. I can't do better than best. This is my best. So your best and my best is different, isn't it? Individual best is different, isn't it? But I do my best, So okay, if you don't like it, sorry. This is what you get. Okay. I'm curious. How do you stay healthy at your age? As a female myself and past 50 years old, there's a lot of biological changes causing weakening of bones and muscles. I would like to learn from nuns like yourselves so that I can practice the path more easily with a healthy body. Thank you for your inspiring teaching during this retreat with Mega Metta. Stay happy, then you're healthy. Actually, basically, I'm not a health freak. I just eat whatever. I have no preference, whatever. Even things that I don't like, I still take. I just You know, for us, arms mendicant, I cannot choose. Whatever given to me, I eat it. And even some of the things when I was a lay person, I don't eat. But then becomes a non-arms mendicant, you just have to eat whatever been offered. Then actually I learned to eat, you know. And when I was a lay person, I don't eat dessert. Then come here because something being offered, okay, I take it. Then I developed the habit taking dessert, but now I have to reduce not eating dessert. Because the doctor asked me to better reduce some weight. I'm overweight, she said. She just said at the moment, overall my results is very good. I just have a blood test and then check all liver, kidney, everything. And then she says at the moment you're okay, but then you better lose some weight. If not, next time, she just said, we're prone to having diabetes. So she said, eat less sweet. So nowadays I don't eat sweet anymore, and also I don't eat dessert anymore. Then I have to cut down carbohydrates. But actually I'm quite good. Like my age, I don't have aches and pain. Like I still can sit cross-legged, I still can sit. Like I have no problem, like 2 hours I'm sitting like that, I'm no problem. Actually, I don't have physical pain, I don't have aches and pains. That's why even some of our nuns, much younger than me, they all have aches and pains already. I think it's your mentality. If you just relax, you know. So if you want to stay healthy, relax. Not so worry about what food that you're going to eat, you know. So it's always grateful, always, you know, grateful, have gratitude. You know, I do that every day. Like even have my breakfast, I'm always very grateful the food that I take. You know, that the people who prepare the food and all the beings contribute in the food that I eat. I have that gratitude, and I'm really thankful for the food that I eat from all the beings, you know, contribute in the food, and those who prepare the food. Then I always very thankful for that. So then, if you're happy, whatever you eat, actually it go well with your body, you know. So it's important to you have a happy mind, then you will have a healthy body. If you're so miserable, always worry about, you know, I've seen those, you know, I have find quite a few people, those really I call that health freak, you know. They want to eat, you know, organic, this, everything, you know, and do the proper thing. They are the one very sick. Truly, because they're so concerned with the body, they're so worried with the body, and they're so worried about what they eat, you know. But for me, I don't really worry so much what I eat, you know. Yeah, but of course, now I put on not a bit of weight, a lot of weight. Then, and then I think if I don't reduce a little bit, then will affect in the future. You know, the doctor's advice is just a prevention. She said prevention better than cure. Even though now I'm okay, you know, that like. She said, my kidney okay, everything, no diabetes, is quite cool. And then I don't have any physical pain, no nerve pain, no knee pain, no whatever pain I don't have. But then she said, you better, you know, reduce some weight. I think it's also good when you're too heavy also, it's too difficult. Last time I used to very active, you know, climb up to the roof, cleaning gutters. But now, I better don't climb up after the roof were damaged, you know, too heavy. I better don't climb up after the roof also got one hole, you know, a dent, you know, because my weight so heavy I walk up there. So Ajahn put you there. Sometimes if you okay, I forgot this. You know, they said if you want to have a healthy body, keep the mentality happy. Then when you're happy, whatever food you eat is delicious. So you have good appetite. When you're happy, you have good appetite, so you can eat. And then that's why you have balanced diet. If you do not choosy, not fussy with your food, then it's naturally your diet become more balanced, isn't it? But if you're choosy, fussy with certain things that you eat this you don't. Some people really don't know what they eat. This they don't eat, that they don't eat. And then at the end don't know what they eat. It's so choosy, so fussy, then they got the not balanced diet, isn't it? So if you're not choosy, not fussy, so everything you eat, then you will have a healthy body. So please advise how to perform metta meditations. I put this aside first. Ajahn, would you please briefly describe your metta meditation process from the moment you sit, then what? Okay, then what? Okay, so I think this is the same questions. Practice metta. So individuals, the way they practice metta a little bit slightly different, but the traditional metta that the Buddha's taught, that is normally you sending good wishes to yourself, sincerely wish yourself well, like metta, you send loving kindness towards yourself. So you bring to mind, sincerely wish yourself that, whatever, the words that you choose is, if it really click, it's important that it's click, like you feel related, For example, myself, I just always, I hope myself, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be free, physical, and mental suffering. May I live in love and compassion. So I do that. So sending myself loving kindness. So for the tradition, like the Buddha's way of teaching metta is that you send loving kindness to yourself, wish yourself well. Then after that, when you started to develop, you feel the metta. For me, for some people metta that for me, I'm more on feelings. I feel warm, I feel soft, I feel that kind of like opening, you feel that kind of your heart is opening and it's really warm, and you feel that it's really, when you have lots of love, you feel like this is full, you feel that it's so full, and then there's I feel the opening of my heart. So then I feel that my heart is expanding, the kind of feelings in the expanding. Then when you start to feel that, warm and love, then you send loving kindness to your benefactor, someone, that helped you, or your teacher or whoever. Then you send to someone neutral, to a neutral person, and then you send to someone enemy. I tell you that is a difficult one. So normally if you can't, don't push, you go back again. You go back again. Then after that, all beings. But sometimes if you find it difficult, because with enemy is someone that you have difficulties with, it's quite difficult, because the moment you think of the person is all the things that, especially someone being nasty to you, it's quite difficult to you really, to be able to have loving kindness towards the person, you have to have lots of metta. You have so much metta, then only you can radiate that loving kindness to that person. But then you first of all start with yourself. And some people find it very difficult to give to themselves. Because some people have a lot of self-hatred, then it's very difficult. They find it more difficult. Some people find it easy to have loving kindness towards their cat, towards their teddy bear, towards their dog. They find it easier than give it to themselves. So sometimes sometimes you have to be a bit, individual is different. You can be a little bit creative. You can do it to your, if you find it too difficult for yourself. For me, I do it to myself. I do it to myself, and then I do it. Normally I do it to the person around me. And then I would think of all beings, because I can't think of an enemy. So I can't think of, I have no enemy. I can't think of anyone that I have difficulties with. That's why I don't do that, because I can't think of anyone else. So I normally to myself to the person around me, to anyone around me. If I'm sitting in the room, I share it with the people in the room. Then after that, to wishing all the people in this room, I send it to myself, and then may they be well, and may they be happy, may they be free from mental suffering, free from physical suffering, may they live in love and compassion. When you said that, you truly mean it. Sincerely means it, that you really wish that person well. It's not just, some people do it just like the mouth, like blah, 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 may you be well, happy, like a robot like that. It doesn't work because you don't generate that love. You don't generate that love within you because it's like a robot, it's like a robot. You just repeat that again, then actually it doesn't work. Yes?
So how do you generate that love rather than just mechanically reciting the words?
That's why when we recite that, we really do it wholeheartedly, do it with sincerity, and we really mean it. And then when we really mean it, actually we can feel that within us. It will come out when we do that. Because sometimes sometimes when you really mean something, you feel it. But if you don't really feel it, you say, okay, and you don't feel it, but that's why it's important when we do that, we really mean it. We really sincerely wish ourselves well. We really sincerely wish the other person well. It's not come from just like a robot, reciting that. No, it's when you do it, you really truly mean it. From the bottom of your heart, that I really... You have to come from that. If you don't come from that, it's very difficult to generate that feel of love. Actually, you truly come from your bottom of your heart that I really wish this person well. I have to come. It's really sincere. It's not like, that's why some people do that, doesn't work. Some people do that, that's how it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work because some people force themselves, sitting there, may you be well and happy, may you be well and happy, may you be happy. Because they're forcing, then you're not really meaning. It's not really come from the bottom of your heart that I wish this person well. That's why when we do it, we really have the sincerely have the sincerity to really come from the bottom of our heart that we really wish someone well. But if we not really come from that, it's very difficult to generate that feelings of love. That's why we have to have that within us to really come from that side. That's just when you do it, please make sure you really come from that. Then if you find that the person very difficult to generate that, then you look for something that is easier, be able to generate that love, that come within you. So to me, like to myself and to the person around me or the person I respect, and then to all beings. So I normally don't do, in the past, I didn't do the enemy because I don't have any enemy in my mind, so I didn't do that. So for me, I just do, then after that to all beings. Myself, to someone I respect, or someone that's helped me, that I really respect so much, then I come to the people around me, and then to all beings. So I think even you have an enemy, I don't think I can imagine it's difficult. It's difficult. So you can just skip that when you start. Then if you think that you're ready, you can really forgive. You can really send loving kindness to the person that you don't like. Then then you do it. But if you find that very difficult, then you have to stop. Because, then you go back sending loving kindness to yourself. May I be able to forgive this person? May I be able to have loving kindness to this person? If you can't give, not yet, be able, not ready yet, then you go back to yourself. Then you can feel that For me, I can feel like I've been embraced, with those, I feel those warm in my heart. It's so warm, and you feel so when you have lots of love, you feel so full. You are so full. When some people don't have enough love, they feel empty. They said you need something from outside, but when you're full, you do not need it, but you be able to open up. And a true loving kindness is to open up yourself to allow people to come in, and not to have a barrier. Oh, this is mine, and we don't exclude. So true loving kindness is being inclusive, open our hearts, allow people to come in. So that's why when someone have lots of loving kindness, they have a big heart. So they have a big heart, they can really embrace. To me, I feel the opening that I be able to embrace. I feel that I'm holding, I feel the opening, and I can feel that I'm holding all the people in the room. And I feel that as my love expands, as my heart become bigger, I feel that I can holding even the whole world and the whole universe, that kind of feeling. So yeah, there's no more you and me. There's no barrier. It's just me and all beings. That's all. Like no barrier. Like as a whole, become one. That kind of feelings. So then that you keep that, and this is. And normally, when you go to all beings, and then after that, you come back again, sending loving kindness towards yourself, and then you stay with that love. Then that is a metta. You stay, and sometimes become very peaceful and calm. Actually, it's to have the happiness when you have the metta. You feel happy. So individual is different. Some people do it different way, but. This is my method, It's up to you. You can try out whether it's really suit you. Yes.
Can the enemy be someone you don't know personally? Can the enemy be someone you don't personally know?
Okay. That is a bit. Because you don't know the person is quite difficult. It's not because normally it's the person that you know. Because the person that we don't know is only we think who they are, but actually it's not who they are, And normally it's the person. This is how that we resolve our ill will, our anger towards the person, someone that like upset us, that we don't like this person that we don't like. So when we practice loving kindness, that means we have so much loving kindness, so much metta, that we be able to forgive even someone that have harmed us before, and someone that hurts our feelings before. We be able to even have loving kindness towards them. That is a true loving kindness. But you can do it. If people can try, if you can do it, if you can, but not to push. Okay. I think these two is together. I already answered this. So actually, different people, the different types. It's just, but this is what suits me. So according to this suits me, And you can try, but the traditional side, the Buddhist way of teaching metta is from yourself first. Yourself to your benefactor, to a neutral person, to your enemy, and then to all beings. But some teach like you don't the loving kindness towards not to yourself first, to someone else, or to the cat, or to the dog, or to the teddy bear that you're holding, But you can try. But what my method is more the Buddha's like the traditional metta practice. This is, but I only didn't do the enemy, my loving kindness meditation, I did it from myself. Some people said that if you take precepts and then fail to keep them, the bad karma are heavy. So they choose not to take the precepts at all from the beginning. I also feel deep guilt when I break precepts today. So on days when I feel I'm all right and not be able to I'm not be able to keep them, would it be better not to fake them from From more, let's just say from ignoring, for what is MO? I can't even see. So that means that you better not, actually keeping the precept, when we recite that, we just said that this is a training precept. You train yourself. So it's okay. When you break it, you forgive yourself. I'll do it better. It's a training. Of course, we still make mistakes. So we do our best to keep it. It's not like, oh, then you take precept and then okay, then it's then bad karma. Of course, it's bad karma if you kill living beings. You know what I mean? You know, you're harming someone. Of course, you know, whether you take precept or not. You know, isn't it? Whether you recite the 5 precepts or not, if you're lying, you know, you say something that you're wrong speech, you say something hurt some other people's feelings, that definitely, whether you take the precept or not, you are still harming others. You still get the karma. So taking precept is only remind us that, you know, I will commit myself to live according to the Buddha's teaching. I'm keeping it, you know. You know, there is something that you just remind yourself that I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to train myself to undertake these training precepts, so that, you know, that is, you take it as a practice to restrain yourself, you know. But it isn't like, you know, if you think that you take it and then you recite it and then you break it and you just forgive yourself and move on. Don't have to carry the guilt with you. You know, it's a training. That's why we say we're undertaking this training precepts. It's a training. You know, you train yourself to restrain. You know, but then even if you don't take the 5 precepts, if tell lies, you know, if we take is what is not given, you still have bad karma, isn't it? It's not only you take it, it's not that only you take it and you break it only then you have bad karma. No, even you don't take it. So if you don't take the 5 precepts, if it's still, isn't it? If you kill, if you telling lies, you know, cheating, you know, telling lies, and then, you know, and then after the influence of the alcohol, you know, and or drugs, and then you harming others people's feelings, there's still bad karma. Even you don't take it, even you don't recite it, isn't it? So you recite is only like a reminder, just okay, you know, remind yourself that I'm going to commit myself to keep it. Doesn't mean that you don't take it, that it's not bad karma. If you did it, it's bad karma too, isn't it? So, yes.
So would you consider let's just talk about the 5. Keep it simple. Would you call the 5 precepts rules or guidance?
For us, we call it a training rules. We're training ourselves. Yeah, we train ourselves. Okay, maybe I this time I can't take it. Okay, I will train myself. Next time I'm more restrained, so that I be able to really keep that.
So, what about? And I'm sure you're familiar with this situation. But what about that story where the Gestapo knocked on the guy's door and said, "Are you hiding Jews?" He said, "You're welcome to look for yourself." Now, that guy was lying.
Okay.
But he was lying for a very good reason. So it doesn't come back to the context in which you find yourself.
And it's also and sometimes also have to come back to your, because the your initial intention is also have to be there. For example, your intention to harm someone is there. That is also because the intention itself to harm someone, that is the energy that you're driven by the energy to harm someone. So that kind of energy, that's why there is a karmic energy is there. But if sometimes, you know, sometimes like, I know that sometimes it's quite difficult. Like, like for example, like until my father died, you know, and my brother was sick. So he was so, because my father passed away, then my brother passed away. Actually, my father didn't know that my brother also sick, having cancer. He didn't know. But we all didn't say a word because it will be very sad for my father. So that's actually, but we didn't really tell lies. We didn't say anything. We just didn't say that, oh, he just, unable to come. We just said like that.
That's very good. So it gets back to my question.
Yeah.
Are the 5 precepts rules?
Yeah.
Or are they guidance for moral standards?
Yes, it's more it's a small, like a guidelines, and also like to train yourself, to keep that. Yeah, it's more like, yeah. Then there's sometimes, for us, even as a monastic, all those small rules, but of course the defeat offense we cannot really break. When we break it, because it's a serious rules that we have to disrobe. We no longer monks or nuns. But those rules we confess, we do confession. Then okay, make sure we next time do it better. Yeah.
So, like 10 commandments.
Yeah.
From the Catholic.
Yeah. So it's not a 10 commandments. Yeah.
Those are rules.
Yeah, they are rules. Yeah.
But the 5 precepts.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. For us, it's just like a training. That's why we call it a training precept, that you train yourself. It's like, yeah, you can say it's a guideline. You can say that it's a guideline. Yeah. But so that we remind ourselves not to do that. But doesn't mean that we didn't take that, we don't recite the rules. Doesn't mean that we cheat, we kill. That this is not wrong. That's why some people think that, oh, if I take a precept, if I break it, then I have bad karma.
But there may be circumstances that arise.
Yes.
Where it's smart, like in the case of your brother.
Yeah.
To say nothing.
Yeah. That's why sometimes this is how sometimes when we don't want to, we don't want to tell lies. That's why sometimes I normally tell people, please, please, I better, I don't want to know much, because when someone asks me, I can't say that I don't know. If I said that I don't know, I'm really telling lies. But if you don't let me know, and the fact that I really don't know, so I said I don't know. So that's why sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes people ask me, then I said, actually, if you ask me, I can't really tell you. So you better ask the person involved. Because it's difficult. Because if I say I can't, if I say I know, the person forced me to tell me, but I said I can't tell you. But you better ask the other person. And we do our best. We try not to, yeah. And sometimes it's difficult. But yeah, to me it's like, just tell them. I can't tell you. Because if you really want to know, you ask that person involved. Because also sometimes it's not right also, isn't it? Like especially privacy, like some things people are more confidential, we shouldn't have tell people, isn't it? That's why we don't, like some people come and ask us someone contact number and things like that. Normally we don't give, we say, sorry, I can't give it to you because I haven't got the permission from that person. We don't know whether the person will like it or not, I can't simply give the contact number to anyone. People come to us, they know that some of the supporters used to come to the monastery, they know that we have the contact, we have the email and address, we have the phone number. We normally don't give. I said, sorry, I can't give it to you because I have to have the permission first, isn't it? I can't give away, someone contact number. Okay. Hi Ajahn, could you talk about the danger of sensual pleasure? So the danger of sensual pleasure is that you're taking salty water, and the more you drink, the more thirsty you are, and you want more and more and more, and that's never end. That is that part of it, For example, because the sensual pleasure is give you the excitement. So then, you know, when once, you know, you reach one level of excitement, then after that, then this level of excitement will not satisfy you anymore. And you will look for higher, you know, more next level of excitement. Then when you reach next level of excitement, then that next level of excitement will no longer satisfying. Then you will look for, this is how, it's just like you get like, you know, you get sucked in, you know, and then this is how you want more and more and more. Like just like drinking salty water, the more you drink, you're more thirsty. The more you drink, you're more thirsty. And then you want more and more and more. And then it's never ending. And then eventually it creates lots of suffering to ourselves because it's not fulfilling. Sensual pleasure is not fulfilling. But it's okay sometimes, like for example, you know, you can enjoy your food. Like you don't have to feel guilty when your food is tasty. Oh yes, it's tasty. Okay, that's it. But not thinking, now, you know, if this food is tasty, how am I going to get it? Oh, you know, that's right, you know, that is okay. Actually, the moment this is how you feel, tasty, yes, that's it. We acknowledge it and enjoy the food, okay, that's it. But not start to think of, you know, how to get this food, how can I have more, you know. So this is how sometimes when the craving, we want certain things, and sometimes even on the expense of others in order to get this, you know, then that is also create more suffering for ourselves and for others, you know. I understand being present in the moment is important, but I still need to think about the future to ensure I have roof, food, do volunteering work, visit loved one, etc. How do I allow myself to think while being mindful? You can think being mindful, you can plan being mindful, because like you can plan your life, you know, but you're fully here planning your life. So while you're fully planning your life, you do your plan, how you're going to earn your money, how you're going to spend your money. You know, you can fully here, you plan it. Then after you finish, you put it aside. But some people, you know, then when they finish plan A, they start to think, what if plan A doesn't work? Then they will start plan B. So after they finish plan B, they will start to think, what if plan B doesn't work? They go plan C. And their mind go on and on and on. You know, yes, we do it. Whatever we do, you know, whatever we do it in this moment. You know, it's not that we you know, for us, we also have a responsibility. But whatever we do right now, you know, the job itself, whatever we do, that is our meditation object. That is we focus on that. So actually it will not affect you in your life. Practice present moment awareness, even in your job, whatever work you do. Because many people, they are not fully here. When they do the job, the mind goes somewhere else. They're thinking of, you know, thinking of tomorrow, thinking of someone else. Sometimes thinking of things that are not related to the job that you're doing, you know. And that is why that you are not present, but you're fully here, whatever you do. Then you'll be more, you know, you will do well in anything that you know that you undertaken, because you're fully here. You're fully present, doing what you do. You give it all you got. Sometimes it's not like sometimes people thinking that letting go is like couldn't care less. No, letting go is just like, you know, it's like we do our best, then after that you just have to leave it. But people will start thinking, worry about what doesn't work, that, you know, what's happened, and then go on and on and on. But we just our speculation, our projection to the future, but we don't know, isn't it? So this moment we do whatever we can. If we can change it, we change it. So, you know, so if we can't change it, you know, then we just have to leave it. I remember when I decided to ordain, become a nun, and then I have to stop my, I was doing this bakery business, so I have to stop. I stop it. Of course, when I stop it, then I haven't got any buyer to sell my all the machinery. Then I still have to rent the place to keep it. But of course, you are not doing any business, but you still every month you still have to pay rental for that. It's only like no income, but only going out, that money only out. Then actually my family so worried about that, because that time I was thinking I haven't think of a way how to resolve this problem, but then okay, I put it aside. Then I plan to go to Thailand, and then my family was that's really mad, They really said, I never ever see a person like you, You haven't resolved your problem, and then you're planning to go to Thailand. Then I told them, because I said at this moment I haven't think of a way to resolve. But if by worrying about it I can solve my problem, I will worry then. Isn't it? Then I said, okay. But then after that, sometimes the more you try to force yourself, you think, I have to resolve. Sometimes when you haven't think of a way, or sometimes when your mind you haven't had the clarity, sometimes you just have to park aside. And then when sometimes, so when I retreat, then my mind become peaceful, calm, then I know what to do. Then come back, I resolve my problem. And so it's no point, worrying is not going to, but people think that if they worry enough, then all the problem will be solved. It's not, that sometimes, when you're confused, and not sure, then you just make your mind as peaceful as you can, Then when your mind becomes peaceful and calm, you naturally, you know what to do. Because when you're confused, actually you have no clarity. So when you're confused, you force yourself to make any decision, definitely it's not going to work, because that moment your mind is just confused, and then you just push yourself that you have to make a decision. Life is full of choices, decisions to be made. So how make a choice without overthinking? Then again, it's have to come back with your clarity. If you're mindful, your mindfulness is strong, and you practice present moment awareness, your mind is sharp. Actually, you because you have more clarity, you'll be able to see things more clearly. Then it's easy. Then you know what are the choice that you should make. And without overthinking. The overthinking is because of you're not sure. It's because you're confused. Then you start to speculate. All the speculation is something that unknown. It's just maybe this, maybe that. But I can tell you, sometimes all this that you project is going to happen, none of them will happen. Like the Buddha said, always expect the unexpected. Normally things that you never expect is going to happen. So, but then you just prepare yourself. If they said, the Buddha said, not everything, not all the things in life that we can change. But you will change nothing until you face it. But sometimes we always jump ahead, to worry about things, to speculate, what if this happened, what if that happened. But then, but most of the things that you worry is going to happen is not going to happen. So that if you're practicing present moment awareness, you have a strong mindfulness, whatever things happen in that moment, you have enough clarity, you know what to do. Okay, hello. What are the interview for? Interview is okay. Interview is for if you have any doubts or any problem that you have, obstacles that you think that in your practice or meditation practice. So then sometimes it's easier than one-to-one, then it's more in detail that I know exactly what you have gone through, what's your meditation stage, and what actually that, because sometimes it's quite difficult from writing. Sometimes I just only guess what you are trying to ask. But then when you directly speak to the person, then you really know what's the person, what's your problem, there is any obstacles, any problem in your meditation, then you can directly ask me, then I would do my best to help you, to resolve your obstacles in your practice, in your meditation. Last night I could not get to sleep because I kept laughing about Call Me Ajahn story. When I did eventually fall asleep, it was with pure joy, okay? Call Me Ajahn story, okay? You see, but you make so many people happy, okay? Dear Ajahn Hasapanna, thank you for sharing the story of the mother who is habitually depressed because she could not get over having married her daughter off at young age. We know of people like that, stuck and forever blaming themselves for something in the past. How can such a person be helped to come out of the situation? And sometimes, especially someone depressed, it's good that because the more they lock themselves in, the more they will get into that, again and again reinforce, keep thinking about it. Actually, it's good to get them out, to do some volunteer job and service, and even go for a walk, and it's good because normally we know when we know someone depressed, we normally very careful. We don't allow the person to be alone too much, because sometimes when they're alone too much, they tend to. So give them something to do, something meaningful, to do and out. Because the more they lock themselves in, they will all like the spirals that go in and in and in, and especially by themselves too much. Sometimes it's good to keep them company and then work together. Do some things that is more meaningful or being of service, and that's to help them to get out and then to feel more, to be able to rejoice, the things, good things they have done, But if you allow the person, to be alone by themselves, and they got more and more depressed normally. So normally we try to, try to accompany that person. But of course, sometimes you may not be able to always do that. That's why it's good that if they can have someone to accompany that person, be with that person, and then like do things together, and that's help to get the person out. If the person depressed, actually is not very good to lock themselves in and not to come out, and it will get worse. It get worse. What does it mean to you seek the dharma of the Buddha? What does this mean? The dharma of the Buddha. It's mean to me. To me, seek the dharma of the Buddha. But I don't really get what this question is. Thank you for the talk, Ajahn. My question is, whom it comes to meditation, what is MITI is what? Mati? Is it metta meditation? I think it's do you have a time to strong state of present moment event? Do you have to have a strong state of present moment awareness? Actually, if you practice, it will slowly build up. It will strengthen. So it's just like it's your choice. If you want to have a strong, mindfulness and a strong state of a present moment awareness, then you just need to practice. It's your own choice that how deep you want to go, how far you want to go. It's not that you don't develop mindfulness or you don't have awareness that you're bad or you're good, you're bad. It's not about that. It's about your individual choice that if you choose, you want to sharpen your mindfulness, you want to develop your mindfulness, you want to have a strong strong present moment awareness, then your own choice, I think to me is like I think I just try to answer these questions. For me, like seeking for the Buddha's teaching, it just come from I try to look for the answer that I want to know. Like for example, things that I want to know, or whether there is a next life, or whether there is what am I going to face when I die and things like that. So then it's more like it's like I'm searching for the truth. And that's how I come to the Buddha's teaching, the Dharma, and then I find that a lot of things that is truly when I start to, because for the Buddha's teaching actually is to develop a spiritual path. You have developed those spiritual qualities that lead us to freedom, because we always bound by our own defilements, our own, ideas, a sense of self, and then actually we've been stuck, in the samsara. And then if you want to be free, not to be born again, not to go through the suffering, and this to develop this, to walk the path to develop those qualities. Dear Ajahn, you mentioned nimitta, samadhi, jhana, deep states. Can you explain this a little more, please? And also what the significance of the teddy bears? I don't know. I didn't put it here. It's always there. You better ask Ajahn Brahm. Because this is Ajahn Brahm, teddy bear Ajahn Brahm. It's not me, it's not Ajahn Hasapanna, Ajahn Brahm. I think it means that, sometimes, I think it's more like, you have loving kindness, a teddy bear. So it's okay that if you feel, if you're not happy, you can just hug the teddy bear, get some love from the teddy bear. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have the habit of hugging this furry thing. I don't. But it's just some people need it. They need a hug. Yeah, actually, these stages of meditation, it comes up by itself. It's a gradual training. Especially when your mind becomes still, and it's naturally your mind become very still. The nimitta is a reflection of your mind. Your mind is very still, then the nimitta is a reflection. Nimitta means reflection of your mind, your mental state, your mind state. And then samadhi actually is jhana. That means your mind is in the absorption. That means that moment when you're in jhana state, your 5 hindrances is being suppressed. The 5 hindrances is not there. And yesterday I have mentioned about the 5 hindrances. And then and then this one, that's what you have to, this one you have to go through yourself. Because sometimes even we try to explain to you, you have to experience that yourself. You go through the stages. It's happened naturally. When your mind becomes really still, then your mind not wander off. You first of all you have to establish your present moment awareness. Through practice present moment awareness, then you they said when you do anapanasati breath meditation, they said before you start your breath meditation, you have to fully establish your present moment awareness, because then you'll be able to stay with your meditation object. This is why it's so important that if you be able to stay in present moment awareness wherever you do, then because the chores that you do, the things that you do, that is much more coarser compared to your breath. That's like if you can't even stay there. How can you stay with your breath? You can't, isn't it? That's like this is how a training. So when you be able to stay, then you establish your breath. Breath is more subtle. Then you keep staying with your breath. Then you will experience, then because your present moment awareness, your mindfulness is so strong, then you'll be able to stay with the breath. You'll be able to observe your whole breath, the long breath, short breath, or the whole breath. Never miss a moment, Like if you want to come back, then you miss already. To the extent, that means you really be able to stay, to that, until that, because your mind not wander off, you be able to really stay. So until your mind really become really still. When you come to nimitta state, actually your mind is already very still, but not still. The five hindrances is still not disappear, not suppressed yet. You still have it, but they're already quite. Nimitta state is you start to experiencing your mind. First of all, you're experiencing your breath, whole breath, and then the breath as a mental object, and then you feel that you're almost at you're in the breath, in it, that kind of the whole they said the body of the breath is not this body, and then after that you're experiencing feelings, that is a piti sukha, joy, happiness, you feel that happiness, joy. Then after that you go deeper, then that is the mind become even more still, then that's the stages. Then you let go of the rapture, the piti sukha, you let go, then your mind become, then you in the nimitta state, that is your mind is really bright, because your mind is really quite, not completely still, but it's really quite still. There is only a little, it's just that kind of very subtle type of, not that the mind is pretty, really quite still, but the five hindrances is still not completely suppressed, but the mind is really still. Nimitta state actually is quite deep already. Imagine if you be able to have the nimitta state, that means your mind, you'll be able to stay with the object for that long and not move. Then after that, you go further, deeper, that is then your five hindrances disappear. Like it's just temporarily disappear, Then you are in that state. Then your mind that is really pure. Your mind have no five hindrances. When that time you're in that state, then you just stay in that state. Then when you come out from the state, then your mind is still really pure. The five hindrances is still being suppressed, and that is where you start to reflect and contemplate. Because sometimes. Because when we still have the five hindrances, it's still there. When we start we will want to contemplate non-self, whatever. But actually, we are still not truly seeing things as a Turiya, because your mind is not pure. You still have defilement. The five hindrances is the obstacles that block you. You can't really see. Then, but what the thing we can see is still it still come from the conceptual mind. It's not come from completely pure without the five hindrances. That is where only when you come out from the jhana state, that the five hindrances is not there, then because that time your mind without the five hindrances, then that's time that you'll be able to see that is really non-self, that is impermanent, and then you'll be able to see, that. But that is not the kind, because for us, when we study, we read, we still is a conceptual. It's not being really seeing that, like the mind see itself. But of course, sometimes people in jhana state that it's not long enough, because the moment they come up and very quickly the five hindrances wake up again. When it's a five hindrances wake up again, then actually that's why some people have to be in that state longer time, so that your five hindrances being suppressed, like go to sleep, Then, and of course, different people have different. Some people that wisdom faculties is strong. They'll be able, within short time, they'll be able to penetrate through. They'll be able to reflect on the three characteristics: non-self, impermanent. They'll be able to release. Then be able to see that. But some people, that don't have a strong wisdom faculty, then they need longer time. But then they need longer time. But then the five hindrances wake up again, active again. Get active, and that's why this depends on individual. That's why the Buddha's mentioned in the Mahamalumkya Suttas. The Buddha's mentioned about that some people get enlightened, through the deliverance of mind, and some deliverance by wisdom. So deliverance by mind, that means the person go not even fourth jhana, they go into eighth jhana. They really deep, they stay very long, and because they need to have longer time, so that the five hindrances really go, really buried. That's why sometimes during Buddha's time, some people listen to the dharma and they can get enlightened, because sometimes they come out from meditation, but there's still the five hindrances still being suppressed. Then when they listen to the dharma, it's not everybody listen that you can get enlightened, because we cannot penetrate through, we cannot understand, because the mind is not pure. The mind still have the five hindrances is there. Some people have a strong, they said deliverance by wisdom. That means the person have very strong wisdom faculties. Even the first jhana come out also, they very quickly they be able to get enlightened, even with first jhana. Some with second jhana, because it's just like some people fast learner, you tell once they get it, but some people you tell them 100 times also they won't get it, It's just like that, That's why people arguing whether you need jhana or not need jhana to get enlightened. Actually, both you need, but only some like, but deliverance by mind. That means you need to have very deep, You have to stay in that 8 jhanas. That really you have to stay in jhana for so long until that your 5 hindrances has been suppressed for a long, long time. Then you have more time. But the other one, by wisdom, that means you have a strong wisdom faculties, then you can even first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, you come up, you be able to, you do not need to until 8 jhanas. That is basically, this is what it means. Okay. Okay, I think this is finished. Okay.
Well, one final question.
Okay.
We said earlier that the mind is basically a conditioned entity.
Mm-hmm.
So are the vipalasas the reason why we end up with a conditioned mind?
And sometimes also come from the condition. Sometimes it's not only come from this life, come from previous life. And there's sometimes I know, like my son told me when he was very young, he said he also don't know why suddenly he just feel like very depressed. But he's okay, he loving family, but he also said, I don't know where he's coming from. He told me he also don't know why he feel this way. But then he's okay, and then he grown up. But fortunately, because that's why he's also having good karma, like grown up in a family, more loving family. Then that's why sometimes when people have this, come from previous life, and then this life, if they're not in a loving family, they will get worse. So then, and then after that, he grown up. So I just taught him some method to deal with it. And then, no, he's okay. It doesn't bother him anymore. He just told me, he said he also don't know why then he certainly feel that way. Then sometimes also we have people also come and tell me that actually they don't know why they have lots of anxieties. And then I ask how your childhood. So nothing. My childhood, my family, we are a loving family. I'm happy. I never go through any trauma, anything. But I just have these anxieties. They don't know where is it coming from. So I say, sometimes it's come from previous life.
Well, how do you deal with that then?
You just have to keep working on it until, you know, it's just like our whole like old baggage that we bring with us. You know, then you just have to now deal with it. You just have to deal with it now. Because if you don't deal with it now, it's still bad luck there, and will bring to the next. So that's why sometimes we rather than we can be able to deal with it this life, but we have the opportunities. We have the opportunity to practice, we have the opportunity to do it, and then we have the teaching, and then we be able to do it, you know. Yeah. Yes.
I've got, sorry.
Okay.
Ajahn, could I just ask, since you were talking about, there was some interest about metta meditation, would you consider giving us a guided meditation, either one of them?
Maybe the last day. The last day we do metta meditation, guided meditation. Then we wrap up the 5 days retreat with metta meditation. Yes.
Yeah, the question is the same thing, metta meditation.
Okay.
What do you think? We start with breath meditation, when the mind comes down, then you sort of start metta.
Okay. Oh, no. Normally we just, it depends on sometimes, of course, when we start something, we have to be relatively peaceful first, not we just sit down, you be one happy, no. You have to relax first, you know, you have to do a little bit of preparation. Whatever we do, we have to have some preparation first, isn't it? We have to prepare our mind to do that, but not just sit down and very quickly, may you be one happy, may I be one happy. No, I always ask people to just relax first, you know, you just have to prepare our mind, you know, and then relatively peaceful mind, relatively peaceful, then we start to recite that, you know, to sincerely sending good wishes to ourselves, to do the metta meditation. Yeah, so we will do it the last day, okay? So anything comments? Okay. Oh, it's already 8:28. Okay, 8:30. Okay, thank you listening. Good night. Okay.